Hi, I'm Ben Smith, Assistant Director of Technology at the Lincoln Intermediate Unit.
And I'm Nicole Bond. I'm the Educational Technology Specialist at Lincoln Intermediate Unit.
And we're here with you today to talk about Google Meet. So in this asynchronous webinar, we're going to go over some of the features in Meet and how you can make use of it.
So as a reminder, when it comes to using a tool that's asynchronous, like a video, it's meant as a guide so that you can stop or pause as needed, possibly to review something if you're trying to attempt to do the same thing that we're doing at the same time. There will be office hours held after this particular recording is recorded, and you can find that on our LearnOn website if you're looking for those office hours. If you have additional questions, you can reach out to me or Ben Smith. My email is nabond@iu12.org.
So the nice thing about Meet is it works right in your browser window, so there's not a separate application. So if you open up Google Chrome, it's really a 1, 2, 3, 4-step process. So you can see up on the screen, you would just go, for the first step, you just go to meet.google.com. You just type that in. If you're logged into your account, you'll be able to access Meet. When you go there, you're going to see a big button that says join or start meeting. You can just hit that. And then you can enter a nickname for that meeting if you want, or as you can see it in step 3, you can leave it blank. Just click continue and it will take you into the meeting. Now, if you want to share that information with somebody, you will see the meeting ready sign, and you'll notice that there is the little piece of information that is on there right here where it says the code. And so the code is really just this last part here, and you can type that in, and that will get you to somebody else to be able to join your particular meeting. You'll also notice that there's a phone number here. So if you are in a situation where you have the dial-in possibility, that person can dial that phone number, enter that PIN, and they'll be able to join your meeting. So with that, I think it's time that we just jump right in to Meet. So as you can see on my screen now, I've gone to meet.com, meet.google.com, and I'm just going to click on join or start a meeting. You'll also notice that it says nothing scheduled today. So if I had a scheduled meeting, it would actually appear there and I could join it from that location. So I hit join or start meeting, and again, it comes up and says enter the meeting code or nickname. I'm just going to hit continue so that I can go right into that meeting. And before it starts, so right now I'm not in the meeting yet. One thing I'm going to do, because we're recording this in Zoom of a Meet, I'm going to mute my microphone. You wouldn't normally do that because you're going to use that microphone to talk in the meeting. The other piece is that you can turn your camera on or off before you join the meeting, and here's where you get that code. So hopefully Nicole has already copied down that code. I'm going to copy it for her, and I'm going to drop it into the chat just to make sure that she has that code, because that's what she'll need in order to join this meeting. And then when I'm ready, I can just hit join now. So I'm in the meeting, and you'll also notice that I can add people. So when Nicole joins, she'll pop in. I'll be able to see her screen. Here she comes. And you'll see that, wow, it's a big screen. And so one of the things that we're going to do is that each of us is going to join from our phone so that we can see what it looks like to have multiple people in the meeting. And so right now I've joined my meeting, and here we go. So what you can see is we have Nicole's phone and my phone. Those are the pictures there. And so it's the 3 of us that are in this meeting. So once you get into the meeting, if you need the meeting details, you can click right here and you can get those details, so that if somebody hasn't joined, you're like, how do I get into your meeting? You can find that information. You can hit copy joining information. You can text it, email it, or just tell them what they'll need to know.
If you go up to the top, you're going to find the chat right there where the cursor was a second ago, as well as the people. So if you go into the chat, This is where you can send a message to everyone. This might be a link that you want to send or a conversation that you would like to have, or maybe your students or participants would be having. Additionally, if you go over to people, you will find that in people, you can go in and mute them if you need to mute them, as well as remove them from the meeting if you need to.
Right, and that's really helpful if you have somebody who's joined and you need to remove them, or if they've walked away perhaps from a meeting, or somebody that you're not familiar with, you want to be able to move them out. The other piece that's up here you'll notice is there's this little tile. So right now in my screen, what you don't see is myself. Like I see myself as just that little thumbnail where it says you, but if I click on this, now I can actually see at least myself in a little better picture, so that I have that scene of myself, so that I can see it. And you can just toggle that off if you want. Now, there are a few other pieces down here. One is you can turn on closed captioning. Because my mic is muted, I can't actually caption it, so I'm not going to demonstrate that because we don't want to get feedback for you. But I can also present to another tab. So like if I click present now, what you'll see is I could present like my entire screen, I can present a particular window, or I can present another Chrome tab. So let me do that. I'm gonna click on that, and it's gonna bring up all the different tabs I have open, and I'm just gonna share out my calendar real quick. And so now what you see is instead of my Meet window, you actually see the calendar window. And what's interesting is if I click back over, what you'll see is right there, I have a little message that says sharingcalendar.google.com to meet, right? And I can stop my share, or I can share this tab instead. So if I had gone to like another tab, right, I could share this tab, and then that's what people would see. So for me, when I organize a meeting, I open up all the tabs I'm going to need, and then I can jump from tab to tab to tab very easily within the platform. And when you're done presenting, you can go back to your main Meet window, and again, it'll be up there in a tab. And I would just remind you, you can get lost in the sea of tabs, so you want to have it organized for your meeting. You'll also notice that it says presentation audio, so if I was trying to play something there, I could do that. But when I'm done, I can just hit stop presenting. If you go under the three dots, what you'll see is record meeting is there, so you can record your meeting. And then you can also change your layout. And so when you change your layout, you can see like I could do it with like a sidebar view, or I can do a spotlight view where I would see the main speaker, the person speaking there. But I like to have what we call the Brady Bunch or the tiled view, looking at that. And again, if I want to get my picture back up there, I'll just need to click and add that on. So, so that gives you a good sense of how you use Meet. When you're done, you can just hit the hang up button. So that's how you end a meeting, and you'll be ready to go. Nicole, you want to cover a little bit on the different versions of Meet and what's going to happen to it?
Yes. So as of September 30th, some of our versions or some of the abilities of Meet is going to change. So currently, until September and through September 30th, you can have a Meet that lasts for up to 24 hours, up to 100 participants. You have closed captioning, screen sharing, and presentation, which is presentation mode. You also have recording and dial-in support. So you're able to record your Meet, and you're able to allow students to dial in using that phone number that Ben showed you. But after September 30th, there will be a couple of changes. So the first change will be that a Meet has a 60-minute time limit if you are on the basic version of Google, not the Essentials or the Enterprise. Additionally, you're going to lose that recording feature after September 30th if you're not on Essentials or Enterprise, and you're going to lose that dial-in. You'll still be able to have up to 100 participants. You'll still have closed captioning and screen sharing, but the big changes are in the time limit, the ability to record, and that dial-in feature.
And then we have a nice side-by-side comparison of Google Meet and Zoom with the current settings, and you can see the information on what is going to change and when it's going to change. And so we will make sure that this is posted on the LearnOn site. So if you're looking to compare tools, you're able to do that. I wanted to give you one last piece, which is how do you schedule a meeting in Meet? And you do that from your calendar. Now, I want you to notice right now, I have a number of calendars here, and I'm not active on my calendar. So if I double click on the calendar to create an event, what you'll see is where it says add location, I don't really have anything that allows me to schedule a meet. I have to be in my specific calendar. So if I go to the Benjamin Smith calendar, now you'll see that I get the button that says add Google Meet video conferencing, and I can schedule that up as a Google Meet for myself. And then when I have that on the calendar, it's going to appear. And when I go to Meet, it will also appear in that list. Now, one last thing that I think is important for you to note, I'm going to hang up on Nicole here from the meeting and show you what happens. So what you'll see is it says you left the meeting. Rejoin is there. And so if you've created a meet, remember that meet lasts for 24 hours, right? And so that's how long that meeting lasts for, and it is open. So in that room, if I hit rejoin, right, and I go back in, I'll mute my microphone, and you can see that Nicole and those two phones are still in the room. So that doesn't end the meeting. So you just want to be careful and know that that's what happens. But after September 30th and your meeting time goes down, then that room will only last for that long. So as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We have a number of resources available for you. We have on the LearnOn site, we have recordings and archives there. We have our resource site as well there at LearnOn, and those are places that you can go to get additional resources. So with that, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us for either Zoom or for Meet and how you might use it.